This week I traveled to Virginia Beach to check out an antique mall which has a vintage hi-fi store inside. Plus, we got one of Nakamichi's best cassette decks in. Then I drive up to Niagara Falls to check out one of the most famous vintage audio stores in the country. We went to the antique mall, which we've been to before. I sent Tom there one time and he picked up some stuff for me. But I wanted to meet Dave, who was the owner, and he took me on a little tour around his shop. He has all kinds of vintage hi-fi. He has albums. So it was a great experience just walking down the aisles of the store, checking out what he had, and enjoying another vintage audio store throughout the country. And I even found a pair of HPM 1500 speakers in really nice condition with the glass tops. I mean, it was kind of a crazy time. The antique mall was wild. I mean, the biggest Ninja Turtle selection that I've ever seen. But going through the hi-fi store was a lot of fun. But I got in one of the coolest vintage pieces that I've seen in a while. See this tray we got in? The Nakamichi CR-7A. Now this is like the next step down from the Nakamichi Dragon. And it's pretty cool. It doesn't work. But we're just going to sell it as is. Somebody can easily get this fixed and have a great cassette deck. But it even comes with the remote. Open it up, all the packaging, and the original box. Look at that. Nice, right? I'm going to plug it in. Powered up. Look at the nice screen. It's like all green except when you get to the peak meters. And it has like a smaller version of the controls you might see on the Dragon, but it works with all different type of cassette types, has as many controls as you would need. It's a 3-head deck with a light behind the cassette. For somebody that wants like a top high-end cassette deck, this is it. They're just going to have to fix it themselves. Now, we went up to New York because I had to drop off a pair of SourcePoint V10s to a friend. And while I was up there, I went up to Niagara Falls to check out the vintage audio shop up there. And here's a tour through it. I'm not really going to go over everything because we're planning on doing some content with them soon. But I just wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of what they have in store. And I would love for you guys to let me know in the comments what you see that you would want to know more about. And I couldn't believe upon entering how much vintage audio they had, and like nice vintage audio. I mean, it was everywhere, but I just thought you guys would enjoy seeing some of their collection. Now I know you may be wondering what those HPM 1500s cost back in the day, so I'm going to pull out my Orion book and we're going to see what they went for at retail. All right, so let's find Pioneer. It's going to be closer to the back. Now this book has every single model and brand of hi-fi released up until 2003, which is the edition that I have, and it gives you like the new price, the retail of it used in 2003, and I guess wholesale used, I guess for trade-ins. But let's see, we got HPMs, and the 1500s are a version of the 150s. So new, they went for $1,100 a pair. Now it doesn't look like the resale value on them was very good in the early 2000s. Only $121 was the retail. And trade-in, you're looking at $70 or $40. So they've sure gone up a lot since 2003. Now while I got the book out, let's check the price of what the CR-7A was going for. All right, so let's find Nakamichi. Here we go. CR-7A. Dolby BNC metal with remote. New was $1,850. And it looks like they were selling for $483. But there's all the Nakamichi models. Right there. This whole page, actually, and that page, and probably some other pages. Now, the other thing I want to show you is while I was in Virginia Beach, I picked up a new whiskey. So we got the Tarnished Truth. So this distillery was actually in the Cavalier Hotel that we stayed at, and they had distillery tours and they sold whiskey in the hotel. So this one here is the newest addition to the store's whiskey collection. This is a high-rye straight bourbon single barrel whiskey, and it's 122 proof. So, you know I like it when it's over 100, and this one is. I haven't tried it yet, but we'll be trying this at one of our hi-fi and whiskey nights very soon. We've been doing shirt orders all week, so we have a couple going out today. I'm really excited how I got that kind of boxed up where you just open it up and it says Elite. So now you're Elite when you get these shirts. There they go. What a deal on the B&Ws.
Eric's gonna love these things, man.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. That was awesome.
Eric, shout out to you, man.
DM602 Series 2. As soon as the pre-owned room fills up, it empties out.
Every single time.
Another trade-in we just got here is the Emotiva XPA Gen 3. It's the differential reference model. So it's a 2-channel amp, and Bruce traded this in towards the Advanced Paris A12, which is similar to the MyConnect. It's right up front there. I'm actually getting ready to have myself a little bit of candy because I got a new upgrade for my content from Sweetwater. Oh, there we go. Let's see what we got in the Sweetwater bag of candy today. Oh, got the Tootsie Rolls. I like the orange there. Got a root beer, hard candy. The Bit of Honeys I can't do, but maybe somebody else will grab those. But I got myself a new lens. Look at that. Got a new lens for the camera. It's a Sony G Master 2470 f2.8 GM2. So this is a huge upgrade because right now I'm just using like the off-brand lens, and you can really tell the difference when you get the cheaper model and the lens. It's just like anything else. You get the budget version and then you get the better version. And now I have the better version, so we can get better pictures, we can get better video for when we actually use the camera and I'm not actually just using my phone or the DJI Osmos 3. So now we got a little bit better content, better pictures, and I always get my camera gear from Sweetwater because I get free candy. So there we go. It's an exciting day for me, especially because I'm about to go out to Denver for CEDIA. So I'm gonna wanna take a lot of pictures there, take some video footage there, and even some stuff in the mountains. So a new camera like this guy, or a new lens, should I say, is going to be a big improvement all over the place. So I can't wait to use it. Thank you, Sweetwater, for that lens. And if you're looking to get into content, hey, that's what you got to do. You go to Sweetwater, they get you hooked up with a nice lens or a nice camera. Now that I got this new lens on the camera, I can do some zooming. There's that Emotiva right there and the source point 888s. I wanted to show you guys how the store looks now, because next time you see it, there's going to be a lot of changes, how everything's set up. So I kind of wanted to take you guys through what is in the store this week, because the whole setup is going to change real soon. So up front for the amps, we have the Yamaha RN2000A. We use that a lot of times as a preamp for the TV. So when I'm sitting here just kind of watching YouTube throughout the day or listening to music, I can HDMI arc it to that. Now currently, I'm actually HDMI arcing to the Advanced Paris MyConnect 250 and going direct to the source point 8s that are right over there. We also use the Forte 4s an awful lot, and Spencer's new favorite, the Vienna Acoustic Bach Ultimates. Now we have the Silent Angel streamer right on top. That new DAC that we'll be talking about real soon. There is the Luxman 507Z. Typically, when we use the Yamaha as a preamp, we are using the Luxman as the amp. That's how we've been running it this past week or so. That's been our typical setup. And then we have the Parasound P6 and the JC5. So we haven't really showed stuff with the JC5 yet. We've been doing stuff with the 21 Plus when we had that one, but now we have a JC5, so we can show you guys like their upgrade, the Parasound upgrade for the amp. That is a big amp. And then we also, because we like to stream, a lot here, we have the Cambridge Audio EXN100. Now a lot of the streamers all have different sounds, so depending on like what kind of music you want to listen to, or your speakers, or your amp setup, changing the streamer itself, will do a lot for the music if your streaming is like a primary source for you. Then of course we have the Rel T9Xs. We have those connected with the Baseline Blue. That's that new cable that we got all kind of hooked up. Played around with it for a little while. But talking about connections, if I go up here, you see that speaker cable sticking out the Advanced Paris right there. That is the AudioQuest Braveheart. So it's two separate cables for the left and the right. The box is right over here, and I just absolutely love that. I mean, look at the box art. Look at the box art on those cables. And not only that, I mean, they sound amazing, but we always pair them, or have, if you have two sets of terminals in the back of your speaker, with the Thunderbirds. So like, just using the Thunderbirds, even without the speaker cable, makes a huge difference on any speakers that have like the dual terminals in the back. And what I mean by that, if you're not familiar, you can see on the Fortes where there is two terminals, and usually there is a connection between them that comes with the speakers, but that's usually the cheapest part of the speaker. So you add these Thunderbird jumper cables, and man, what a difference that has made. Now currently on the side here, we have the empty rack. We tend to keep the rack empty a lot because it's a good way of showing it off. That's a Quadraspire rack. We custom build them, any way someone would like. You can change the sizes, and you can arrange it over time. So it's not like a permanent thing if you pick the wrong size or you want to adjust what's on whatever shelf. You can change it up. Then we have the three Amphions. In the middle, you have the Argon Zero. On the right side, the walnut, that is the Argon 1. And then the Argon 3S right there on the left. That's the one with those terminals on the back that are so unique, they kind of like hide the speaker wire. So I love that design, and those speakers sounded really nice. So we kind of have not put them back on top of the Fortes or, you know, on the Source Point 8 stands, because we're going to be doing a lot of moving this upcoming week. And I'm going to show you why in a minute. Oh, we got this poster. Check this out. So we're in Maryland. So this is the Baltimore Civic Center. Led Zeppelin in concert. And this was given to us by our good friend Bert. We're going to hang it up in the store. I just haven't figured out where we're going to hang it yet. Let me know if you have any ideas. I'm kind of thinking right above our desk. Right there would be a great place for it. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Then up on the counter here, we probably might move the counter around a little bit. We may not. I haven't decided yet. We have the Cambridge Audio Evo 150 DeLorean Edition. This is the only one left. So it's an open box. We have it here. But they're sold out, limited editions, but we got one. They come with two different side plates. You got the DMC black DeLorean grill style. And then if you go over on this side, you got the shiny silver DeLorean style right there. So that is one of my favorites. Then, of course, the Emotiva I showed you earlier. Over here, we have the Leak. I love the Leak setup. We do a lot of the larger Leak speakers, too. I just don't have them in here. But the 230 is an excellent integrated amp. Love the 230. Over here, we have the Silent Angels. So if you're looking for a high-end streamer, you know, no frills, no screen, but the build quality and the sound is top-notch. So when people ask me, hey, which streamer would you get? You know, if you don't want the screen or that doesn't bother you, Silent Angel is typically the one that I'm recommending. Now on the other side, I've started to stack stuff. We have the Advanced Paris XD500. That is the CD transport from Advanced Paris. And underneath there is the Parasound A21 Plus. That's one of our best sellers. If you're getting into, you know, adding a bigger amp to your system, like something large like this, right? And you don't want to spend a ton, because you can go up, right? So even in Parasound, these amps go up to, you know, 30 grand for a pair of mono blocks with the JC A100s, which we might be getting in here soon. The A21 Plus is an extreme value for what it does. So this is definitely one of our best sellers. We just had Anthony, our good friend that stopped by the other day. He just mono blocked these, so now he has one A21 Plus on the left, one A21 Plus on the right with his Cornwalls. So, and then over here, the Audio Lab. We love the Audio Lab, especially the CD player. This is the preamp. So that's kind of what we have. And then we're saying goodbye to the Cyrus 40 series, which I really enjoyed. The CD transport's excellent. I love the brightness. Let me show you how good this screen looks, because this is one of the best streaming screens that I've ever seen. It's so clear. It looks amazing. And you see the lights on the logo and on the ring. Those can be dimmed. So if that's too bright for you, you can dim them. And you can actually black out the front if you don't want to see anything. So all three of them have screens. I'll show you on the CD player. And then I'll show you on the amp here. The only one that doesn't have the screen is the power supply. But it's a great series. I'm so happy and thankful that Cyrus lent these to us for the opening of the store. And the guys, they really like them too. So we just spent a month listening, 2 months listening to the Cyrus 40 series. So
They've been here as long as the store. I figured they just came with the store.
They did come with the store, but now they got to go. So our very first feature system was the Cyrus 40 along with the monoacoustic VC1s. Which are still over here. So what did you guys think about the Cyrus 40 series? What are your closing remarks on the Cyrus 40 series being part of the store?
So I really liked it. I think when it comes to just being able to separate out all of your components, I think Cyrus does a really good job. I like the fact that they've got a smaller form factor, because if you get two of them, put them together, it's a full unit now. I am a big fan of the tonality and the build quality of them as well. I like the fact that you can get external power supply to increase any sort of pull that whatever unit you plug it into. So if it's a CD player, the amp, the streamer, it now has its own designated power supply. So like I said, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, there's a standard with the high-end UK pieces, and with the half-rack stuff, it's like, we'll see, but they definitely do it really well. I mean, it's incredibly well balanced. The mid-range is nice and rich. The highs are nice and smooth. like Spencer said, the build quality, I mean, like if you pick them up, like they're dense and heavy, they go in real deep, and I don't really love to judge them on just a half rack. The power. Sorry.
Nice.
I didn't even realize I did until I saw your face. And
I was like, and then Lenny doesn't help it at all.
I'm just standing back here losing my mind, trying not to say anything to try to keep it a little PG.
Cut that out. We're not using that.
We are not cutting that out.
We're keeping it.
That is going in there.
You're just gonna bleep it out and be funnier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Dave Tracy.
I'm impressed. You can't put that on YouTube.
We'll bleep it out. It'll be more fun. It'll be hilarious. Right?
I am completely impressed.
It's great.
The power supply. You know, they each have their own power supply in there, built in. It's universal, powering the digital, the analog, all that stuff. But when you accompany them with the external power supply, that's when everything kind of knows, okay, this is going to power that part, this is going to power that part. And you use this combination of multiple power supplies to do everything, you know, specifically and more efficiently. And it really, really increases the performance. And you can do that for the whole line. It makes a big difference in the amp, obviously, but even, you know, hooking it up to the CD player, it just really upgrades, you know, you just get a lot more oomph, and it's, you know.
Your favorite thing to hook it to is the CD player.
Yeah, I like to play with that the most, for sure, but it works for all the components.